This week on Talking Heads, we're looking for love with Yvonne Allen. You could probably call Yvonne Australia's premier matchmaker. Since 1976, she's been trying to put Mr. and Mrs. Right together. Well, for herself, it's taken until just recently for Yvonne to find Mr. Right. Yvonne, welcome to Talking Heads.
Good to be here.
You formed Yvonne Allen and Associates back in 1976, and it was really pioneering. What were you offering that was different?
Well, first of all, it was considered a very nefarious area for me to be going into when I had a good degree in psychology and so on. I started it because I'd worked for 10 days for a charlatan who called himself, marriage consultant. And
this was a field that was seemingly full of charlatans.
Well, yes, and yet what's so crazy was here were these yous and I's walking through the door saying, I really am having trouble finding the person I'd like to share my life with, which is a big, tall order, especially today. And I wrote a paper which the Royal Commission into Human Relationship took as a submission saying there was a need for a real professional service in the area, and I couldn't get anybody else to start it. So I said, well, I will. And of course my family and friends were horrified.
What was different about what you were offering?
Right from the start, I wanted to provide a way for to meet themselves in many ways, to have a far clearer understanding of what their needs were in terms of looking for someone to share their life. I gave my first client 9 hours worth of profiling because I said, if you don't join, I won't be able to open next week. And all you can do is meet me, but you'll meet yourself. And even today, an underpinning in our way of working is that.
As people sort of settled into thinking about this, what did they discover that was different between what they thought they wanted and what you've discovered they really wanted?
It varies with the individual, but quite a lot of people realise that they've been barking up the wrong tree, keep going for what their want list is when they're not meeting their core needs. For example, this gentleman came in and he was lovely. He'd been married for 20 or 25 years and he was a successful businessman and he wanted to meet a much younger woman. This was in my first year. And I had Maria, who was a successful woman in her early 30s, and she was quite happy to meet an older man. And he thought it was bliss. Then I started to get the phone calls. She wants to go out often. She can't remember when, and so on and so forth. He ended up marrying somebody who was just a slight update in terms of the wish list to his wife.
Has what people want changed in the 30-plus years you've run this business?
I really have a lot of concern today. There are so many women who would love to be in a relationship, who have not been out with a man for years, who are not giving off any cues of their femininity, their interest, the fact that they've been available. We've always catered for the business professional sector of society. Well, the businesswoman in 1976 was almost a different species.